So the Hawks had a pretty interesting offseason. Let's start with the NBA draft where they traded Jeff Teague for the 12th pick. They drafted Taurean Prince. He has a lot of similar skill sets to DeMarre Carroll. A lot of people are making that comparison. Hopefully he ends up being a good defensive player in the NBA. I think he'll still be buried on our depth chart for the rookie season, but it'll be interesting to see how he does. We also drafted DeAndre Bembry. Um, I liked the little I saw from him in the one summer game that I watched, but I'm not sure how he'll do either. It's really hard to tell how these rookies will develop. And then we drafted some guy from France in the second round. I'm not a big fan of drafting overseas players, especially in the second round, because it feels like they just develop overseas and they never come back to the NBA. There are a few exceptions, and we just signed one of them as well, named Malcolm Delaney. He played at Virginia Tech in college. Um, Went undrafted a few years ago. Went to play in Europe, and now the Hawks just recently signed him. Um, so that'll be interesting. I think he's going to be our third string point guard. Uh, we also re-signed Kent Bazemore. I really like that move. Kent Bazemore, great defensive player. So he'll be our starting small forward again. And then we come to the big deal that happened where we signed Dwight Howard. This surprised me. I thought we were going to go after Horford. And then we went after Dwight Howard and tried to bring back Horford after that, but it was too late. Um, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Now, obviously, rebounding is the Hawks' biggest weakness, and Dwight will definitely address that issue. So that could be a good move there. But Al Horford was my favorite player, so I really wish we got him back. It'll be interesting to see how Dwight does in Atlanta and how Al Horford does in Boston. But anyways, I still wish we had Horford. But how Dwight will fix our rebounding issue, especially with Tiago Splitter coming back, now being the backup center again. So we should be a pretty good rebounding team next year, which I'm excited about. But anyways, back to the off season, we re-signed Chris Humphries. I really love that move as well. Chris Humphries had a ton of great plays for the few moments he was in, and I really did not expect him to do much last season. Like when we signed him, my friend thought it was a terrible move, thought he was too old to play, and then Chris Humphries came out and just schooled everyone. It seemed like it's amazing what he did last year off the bench. Um, we got Jarrett Jack as the backup point guard now. I'm really liking that move. Probably more than most people. He was kind of the guy that got me into basketball. I remember as a kid watching Georgia Tech make the Final Four, and Jarrett Jack was on that team, and they lost in the championship game to UConn. I still remember that. And Jarrett Jack was my favorite player there. And I don't really think he's going to be that much of a downgrade to Schroeder at the backup point guard spot, because he still averaged 14 points per game and like 7 assists per game as a starter for the Brooklyn Nets last season. So I don't think he's going to be as much of a downgrade at that spot as people think, but we'll see. Anyways, what else did we do? We re-signed Mike Muscala. I don't really care for that move that much. And we signed a guy that got undrafted this year, Matt Costello from Michigan State. So that was an interesting move. I don't think we're going to do anything with him. And I'm pretty sure that's all the Hawks did, unless I'm missing something. But I can't wait to see how this team plays next year. It'll definitely be a little bit different with Dwight over Horford. We won't space the floor out as much, but we'll see. I think we're gonna have like the same record as last year. I don't think we got really any better or that we got really any worse. Well, tell me what you guys think.